Driver than me.
Hi guys, it's Saturday. Now for anyone who's not seen these videos before, what basically happens is I complete an Uber shift, but each hour I tend to give you a 30-second update or so on what's happened within that hour, how much you've earned, and potentially a story about a customer or two that I've picked up. Now with it being Saturday, there tends to be a couple more customer stories than expected on a weekday. Now Uber has offered people a promotion for today, and I'll show you it here. Now this is the most I've seen Uber offer to do Uber trips. £6 per trip on top. I'm still not convinced that's going to be enough to get me to the city centre, but if I end up venturing there, then why not? So I have signed up for both of them just in case. More recently, Uber has also offered another promotion for people to complete the Uber share course, and they've been offering 30 quid. It started at a tenner, no one bothered, then it went to 20, only a couple bothered, and now it's 30 quid. But I haven't even been offered it. Has anyone outside of London who watches me been offered this? I'm curious to know. Now, let's get on with today's shift. First hour up, or just nearly, and this is what I'm on. So it hasn't been too bad an hour. To be honest, Uber's starting to feel like a bit of a car boot sale. You know when you go to a car boot sale and it's absolute junk everywhere, but in the midst of it, there's the odd one or two items that's worth it. That's what it's starting to feel like. During last week, I dropped to 2% acceptance rate. That means I'm accepting 2 jobs in every 100. I'm currently on 6%. So it's creeped up a bit, but not by much. I did get offered this job here, look, to Manchester, all the way to Manchester, and more than likely come back towards Liverpool empty, or a bit of a chore to get back. So that just wasn't worth it at all. Not a bad hour. Let's see what the next one does. 20 to 3, and I've just had one of them customers where you're driving and he's barely speaking at all, you know, which is fine, it happens. And then as soon as I got to his destination, there was a little bit of roadworks, and I went, oh, bet you that's annoying. And then I got to his house and he was still talking about the roadworks and how annoying they are. And he was yapping. I completed his job, I rated him, and he's still yapping. And you're thinking to yourself, all right, mate, I shouldn't have opened my mouth, just get out my car. Anyway, he eventually got out. Now, Uber has just offered me another Manchester job. Yeah, I'll stick it there. Now, I was thinking to myself, what's going on in Manchester? Obviously, it's Oasis going on, isn't it? This one I was tempted to do for about 0.55 of a second. Because what you got to think about is, yeah, that'll be good to go there. You know, an hour's work, 40 quid. Or something along that line. But then you've got to get out of all that traffic at the concert. There's nothing worse than concert traffic. Meanwhile, you've got absolutely hundreds of Ubers there. So there'll be no work coming out. You'll have to go quite a distance away from it before anything will start popping on your screen. So you'd probably just end around turning tail and coming back where you used to working. So it would only work out at like 20 quid the hour. So I may as well not bother. So I hovered over it for a little bit and went, nah. 20 to 4 and I'm on 70 quid. That last hour went particularly good. There was lots of jobs getting offered. Lots. I was obviously declining. And then from nowhere, it offered me a job going 4 miles for 12 quid. I nearly broke my dashboard to accept that. 5:10. Now, the reason I couldn't give you the update on the hour was because I just ended up in an incident traffic jam. So I just joined the 57. It was a 10-minute job. But as I joined it, there'd been a wagon, I believe, had tumbled over, took out 2 lanes, and it was right the way backed up. I was in it an extra half an hour on top of the job. Now, I have obviously trip reviewed it with Uber to see whether I can get any more money out of it, because it's nobody's fault. And I even seen another guy on Facebook saying he's been stuck in it an hour and wants someone to bring some Portaloo for them. Well, when anything like this happens, the best thing to do is just go home, have a coffee, and then come back out. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. What you're seeing on the screen now is 6:30 when I come out, which is the same amount as when I went in. And then an hour later, it's now 7:30. Now, I only did just under the 20 quid there. I'll tell you a story about why. So I get an offer for the trip. It was a local one. It's only 6 quid. Pulls up to her, and it was a young woman with 3 big massive bags, like bin bags. And so pulls up, gets out, and went to help her. She went, "I've got more." Hang on. I went, I don't think my car will fit much more. She went, "It's not much." I went, "Okay." So I puts the 3 bin bags in the boot of my car. Then she comes out with 2 kids, a pram, and 2 people are bringing. One person's got 3 other big bin bags, and a woman is holding 2 like electric applications. I think it was a bottle warmer and something else. And I just looked at it and went, that's not all going to fit in. Plus a buggy as well. And she went, "I'll make it fit in." I went, no, I'm telling you that's not going to fit in. I said, "You're going to have to order like an Uber XL or something." And she went, no, it'll fit in. And then she attempted to put one of these bottle cleaners in the back of my car. So she went, "It'll go on the seat." I went, "If the stuff you're bringing doesn't fit in me boot, you can't bring it." So I starts unloading the stuff and putting it on the side of the road. And as I picks up this water bottle, this water application thing, whatever it was, it opened up and water went all over me and all over the, just outside the boot of my car. What an absolute nightmare. So I'm drenched. My shorts are absolutely drenched now. I carries on unloading all the stuff. And I went, "Look, you need like an XL or a van or something like that." And I goes to get back in my car. She went, "I'm going to report you to Uber." I went, "For what?" So I gets out and I took a picture of all her stuff because it was ridiculous, just in case. And then I gets back in my car. She goes, "I'm going to have your job." I went, What are you going on about? You clearly can't fit all that in my car. It's not safe. I've got me camera, me CCTV, which has recorded everything we've spoke about. I said, so you do what you've got to do, and I'll do what I've got to do. So I immediately reported it to Uber under all the safety features and all that stuff. But what an absolute joke. I had to cancel it in the end for riders' items would not fit in car. I then went through and did furthermore, rider disrespectful and all that stuff. And I got £3.75 for all me trouble. Well, it's now 8:30 and I am on this. So I just made the £20 an hour. Problem is, between 8 to 10 on any type of platform to do with taxis, whether it's Uber or local firm, can be quite slow because everyone's kind of where they want to be. Hopefully it'll pick up in the next hour. We'll find out, eh? 10:30, and this is what I'm on. So it's been 2 hours since the last update, but it's been quite busy, ticking over, and I haven't had to wait long. And then when it was 9:30, when I would like to have done the update, I had a customer, so I thought I'd give it, a little wait. Anyway, I've just had 4 girls in the car, and as I'm driving along, the song come on the radio, and one of them was singing it quite low, under the breath kind of thing. And I was like, if you're gonna sing in my car, you need to own it. And I blasted it dead loud. And the 4 of them just sung at the top of their voices. It was hilarious. They went, "Oh, best taxi ride I've ever had." I've just been sitting outside some pub, and this little old woman comes over, knocks on my window. Proper knock, that kind of thing. Puts my window down. She went, "You for Mavis?" I went, "No." Put my window up. Just, carries on looking at the screen, waiting for the job to pop up. And she comes back and knocks. And I puts it down. She went, "Are you sure you're not for Mavis?" I went, No, I haven't got a job." She gets up and she comes back a third time. And when you've been there for ages, do you want to take me? I'm Mavis. I gathered that. I went, oh no, I'm not allowed to. Oh, she went, that's pathetic. You've been sitting there for ages. Only there about 4 minutes max. And that's what she's like. I went, oh no, sorry, I can't. It's against the law. She went, no, it wasn't back in my day. People would have just done it. Well, unfortunately, Mavis, it is now, and it's totally not worth it. For anyone who doesn't know, if we do take someone that's not on a booking, and we're obviously not an operator, we get a massive 6 points on our licence for no insurance, and up to £1,000 fine, plus a suspension from being a private hire driver. So, no thanks, Mavis. You can walk. It's 11:30 and I've broke the 200 mark. I'm on 207, I think it is. I'll stick it there. Wasn't too bad, right? But during this, I pulled up outside this pub, which seemed to be decorated like a wedding or an engagement or something. Just as I'm pulling up, I noticed this big crowd of people, and there's 3 people proper arguing, effing and blinding at each other. And one of them went, here's your taxi now, go home. And I was like, oh no. I'm not taking that. And she comes over and opens the door and starts guiding this guy in who's still arguing, effing and blind, and, you know, all kinds of abuse. And I'm like, nah, I'm just going to cancel this. But before I did that, something just twigged, get them to confirm the name. So I just went, what name's it under? And she shouted the name. I went, no, it's not that. And then she shouted a different name. I went, no, it's not that. And then she tried a third name. I went, look, this clearly isn't yours. So, and then they all moved away, the ones arguing. And this little old woman come out and said, are you Denny? I went, yeah. And she went, oh good, you're my cab. And I was like, yes! Because you do not want to be dealing with that type of aggro on a Saturday night. Well, it's now close to 1 o'clock. And this is what I'm on. I never did get a job into the city centre. I would have took it if I did, to be fair, to see if I could get one of them 6th grade jobs on the way out. But luckily, I didn't, because I've got a friend who was sitting in the city centre, and he was there at 11:05, which is when it started. And for 45 minutes, he sat there and didn't get one trip offer. Not one. He also said that it was swarming with Uber drivers, loads of different plates, especially Wolverhampton plates, all over the city centre, all just parked up, waiting on the side. So I am absolutely glad that I didn't end up going there, because that would have made me fume. It reminds me of that, that cartoon where they're heading towards the light.
No! Harry, no! Don't look at the light!
I can't help it. It's so beautiful.
Anyway, let's do the roundup. So we've got the hours done. Remember, I did have a break. Then we've got total earnings. And then we've got by the hour. Don't forget, there is obviously expenses to come out of that. Now, I've previously worked my expenses out to be £4.50 odd per hour. So if we take that out of it, then that's what I've done per hour. It's always important when you see Uber drivers posting their earnings or posting how much they've got, that they're also deducting expenses. Because some people's cars are ridiculous amounts of money per week. And they're like, look how much I've made. And it's like, nah, you haven't, mate. Now, there was a video I did a few weeks ago with a friend of mine where we checked out the algorithm, and I did every single job that was offered me from the algorithm, very foolishly. But if you want to see me sweating while he's having an easy time, it's this video here. So go and check it out if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one.